Every year, the United States federal government spends about $165 million to promote abstinence-only sexual education programs in our public schools. Abstinence-only programs go around telling kids that sex should wait until after they are married. And we're not just talking intercourse here. We're talking oral sex, we're talking manual stimulation, we're even talking about masturbation here. These programs claim that they're looking out for our kids to make sure that our kids are avoiding unexpected pregnancies and STIs and all these horrible, horrible things that can happen when you have sex. But these programs really aren't helping our kids prevent those things, because these programs are spreading lies. They're spreading lies like, well, condoms actually help the spread of AIDS, and touching somebody else's genitals can get you pregnant. The whole idea is that they want young people to wait to have sex until they're married. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to wait to have sex until you're married, that's your prerogative. It's your body, and you get to do whatever you want with it, provided that nobody else is getting hurt. But to say that sex before marriage is physically unhealthy and psychologically unhealthy and increases your chance of STIs and pregnancy is bullshit. Even though they technically can't say it because they're receiving public funding and going into public schools, abstinence-only education programs are really just a bunch of propaganda created by the Christian right to go in and have kids try and live the lifestyle that they believe is the correct lifestyle, which to them means no sex until you're married. A former Surgeon General once said that abstinence-only sexual education should be considered a form of child abuse. We are literally spreading lies to kids about sex to scare them off of it. How do they expect somebody to have a healthy sexual relationship when they're ready to have a sexual relationship if they're afraid of sex, if they have a fear of sex, if they think that the very act of sex is going to harm them in some way? Abstinence-only sex education programs do terrible things to kids, like tell them that condoms don't work and that masturbation is bad for you and you shouldn't do it. The birth control pill will make you sterile. Abortions will make you sterile. Which, by the way, none of these claims are backed up by scientific evidence. None. 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 And I think it's right to call this a form of child abuse because we're misinforming our kids about their bodies, about the natural act of love. So abstinence-only sexual education is basically religious propaganda. It doesn't belong in our schools, and we don't need to be wasting $165 million a year promoting lies and utter bullshit that's doing nothing but harming our kids. Do abstinence-only sex education programs work? No! Studies have found that only 1 in 5 students who pledge to be abstinent until they're married actually remain abstinent until they're married. And students who pledge abstinence, who then break their pledge and have sex, are 5 times less likely to use a condom. So they don't work. Why are we wasting money on a program that is obvious religious propaganda, spreading lies, and that straight up doesn't work? So far, only about 11 states have actually investigated their abstinence-only sexual education programs and have said that they have no effect whatsoever. So they've started converting to more conventional sexual education, which is brilliant, and I think those states should be applauded. But for all the other states that mandate abstinence-only sexual education, what is wrong with you? Don't you care about your kids? The fact of the matter is this. Teenagers have been having sex for millennia, and they're going to continue to have sex until the end of time. That's one of the few things in this world that we're not going to be able to stop. So we need to have sexual education that actually helps our kids.